The U.S. Department of Agriculture recently announced that the commodity and specialty crop producers that were impacted by natural disaster events in 2020 and 2021 will soon begin receiving emergency relief payments. Those payments for the Farm Service Agency's new emergency relief program total approximately $6 billion. Back in September of 2021, President Joe Biden signed the Extending Government Funding and Delivering Emergency Assistance Act, which included $10 billion in assistance to ag producers that were impacted by wildfires, droughts, storms, and other eligible disasters during 2020 and 2021.
So if you received an indemnity either through crop insurance or through NAP in 2020 or 2021 for various different natural disasters, it could be drought, it could be wildfire, it could be excessive flooding. If you received an indemnity, you're eligible for the emergency relief program. The Farm Service Agency has sort of streamlined this process this time around. So we have pre-filled applications. Those went out in the mail a couple of days ago. They should be arriving in mailboxes as soon as today or maybe next week. And once producers get those, there's some boxes that they need to check and some documents that they need to sign. But then we encourage them to go back into their office as well. There's a list of documentation that they need to have on file, I think within 60 days of their eligibility being determined. And there's a pretty significant list, Bill, but just to make sure that those are on file so that they can get signed up into the program.
This program is designed to bolster indemnity payments for the 2020 and 2021 calendar years. These relief payments will come in two phases, with phase one currently being implemented and phase two in development. In the earliest forms, they'll be received by producers. They'll pertain to producers with crop insurance coverage.
So phase one is a program that is, again, designed to sort of bump up your indemnities that you receive for 2020 and 2021. The phase two has not yet been determined. They're still working through that, still working through what kind of program that they'll be rolling out for that. That'll be probably coming later in the summer. And just to be clear, the documents that are going out right now are for indemnities that you receive for crop insurance. If you had NAP coverage, you're going to receive that those application materials a little bit later in the summer as well. We're trying to get this first tranche out with the crop insurance the crop insurance indemnities more quickly because, frankly, there's a lot more of them.
For crops covered by crop insurance, the ERP Phase 1 payment calculations will depend on the type and level of coverage obtained by the producer. These calculations will use an ERP factor based on the level of crop insurance or an NAP coverage. Most importantly, however, producers will need to find time to get into their local FSA office as soon as possible to ensure that they have everything they need in order.
So the ERP payments are calculated using a factor based on the level of coverage that the producer had when they were indemnified for that loss to begin with. And then that factor is applied and it can go up to 90% of the loss. So after you receive this payment, you're required to be in the program then for an additional 2 years beyond when this payment was received. So just to be sure that your viewers heard this the first time, even though they're getting this pre-filled application in the mail, they'll need to go into their local county office and make sure that all the forms are in place.
The second round will fill gaps and cover producers who did not participate in or receive payments for the existing programs that are being leveraged for Phase 1 implementation. When Phase 1 payment processing is complete, the remaining funds will be used to cover gaps identified under Phase 2. Additional USDA disaster assistance information can be found online. The website is farmers.gov. This includes the Disaster Assistance Discovery Tool, Disaster at a Glance Fact Sheet, and the Farm Loan Discovery Tool.